Hello and welcome to a Just Jason video, a video where I am going to prove to you, I'm going to definitively prove to you that Daniel, also known as General Ying Ying on YouTube, you should check out his channel, not nearly as great as mine obviously, but still worth a watch nonetheless. Yes, that Daniel is actually Genghis Khan. Seeing as Genghis Khan has been dead for the better part of 600 years, no, closer to 800 actually, I can understand why that would be a little bit of a hard pitch for you to understand. But as always, I do have proof in the form of a paper. That one time it was Domino's napkin, but we don't talk about that. Let's set up a little background information about Daniel, notably his name, where I always start. Daniel Lim, that is Daniel-Lim. It's first and last name. Now, that's 9 letters altogether. Before I go further, let's step back a bit and talk about Genghis Khan. For those of you who are uneducated and don't know who Genghis Khan is, he was the first ruler, Khan of the Mongol Empire. Mongolia, still a country today, as a matter of fact. The word Mongolia has 8 letters, and Mongolia is actually one country. Who would have known? It's the one in between China and Russia, the one you've never heard of. So if we take 8, the amount of letters in the word Mongolia, plus 1, exemplified by the fact that Mongolia is one country, we get the number 9. In the pre-recording of this video, I accidentally said the letter 9, but I said it correctly this time. The number 9. Now, let's leave that by for a minute and head back to Daniel's name, Daniel Lim. Once again, 9 numbers, so it's 2 numbers that are the same, aren't they? Add them together, you get 18. Let's leave that 18 for a minute and head somewhere else. Genghis Khan. Some people will be pedantic and tell me that that wasn't actually his birth name, but I'm using it because it suits my ends, or would the correct way of saying it be it meets my end? I'm not sure. What I am sure of is that Genghis Khan has 11 letters in it. Now, why is that important? Well, as we've already established, Genghis Khan was the Khan of Mongolia, the very first one. Khan, King of Kings. It's a good name. That was an unnecessary tangent, so let's move on. 11 plus 1 is 12. So we have an 18 and we have a 12. So switch the order of those around, we get 1218. A little bit of a meaningless number. Except, when I actually did a little bit of research into it, I realized that that's an extraordinarily significant number. Because 1218, the year 1218, that is, was 9 years before the death of Genghis Khan. Keep in mind, 9, the same amount of letters in Daniel's first and last name. If that isn't definitive proof right there, frankly, I don't know what is. Now, of course, I already know that Daniel is Genghis Khan. For me, that was more than enough. But once again, I do recognize that when I come here with such an outlandish initial claim, even after all of this evidence, I do need to have a little supporting evidence then and there, just to reach the niche little group of people that will still not believe me after such extensive proof. So there is a little more. A comment, a YouTube comment, that should be on the screen right about now, shows Daniel, aka General Ying Ying, claiming he is Chinese. Now, there's a couple reasons that's important, so let's talk about China for a little bit. The current regime ruling over China is the Communist People's Republic of China, but that was preceded by the Republic of China, a state which still rules today in Taiwan. Taiwan is the real China, by the way. Before that, there was the Qing Dynasty, which ruled until the early 1900s. The Qing Dynasty is an interesting one. It is somewhat related to the Mongols in a roundabout way, because it was created by the Jurchen tribes, also known as the Manchu tribes, which invaded from the north, conquering the previous dynasty that ruled over China, the Ming dynasty. The Ming dynasty isn't that important for our theory, other than the fact that they did overthrow the previous dynasty, which is important. That dynasty being the Yuan dynasty. Now, the Yuan dynasty, I know you're hearing a lot of Chinese words you've never heard of and don't care for, but the Yuan dynasty is interesting and important to this theory because the Yuan dynasty was a dynasty of China that owned both all the important parts of China, and it also owned Mongolia. Now, what's more important is that the Yuan dynasty was founded by Kublai Khan, one of Genghis Khan's many grandsons. Now, if Daniel's claim that he is Chinese is to be believed, and if my evidence previously that I have already laid out is to be considered corroborative evidence of Daniel's claim, that means that the most likely scenario is that, first of all, Genghis Khan never died in 1227, I believe was the year, in 1227. Second of all, he lived until the early 1300s, I believe. Actually, I just fact-checked myself, and it would actually only be necessary for him to have lived until the year 1271, but my point still stands that he didn't die in 1227, as contemporary historians would tell you to believe. He lived until at least the 1270s and founded a new life in the Yuan dynasty as Daniel Lim, so he could claim that he was Chinese while actually being a Mongol. Now, as to why Daniel, aka Genghis Khan, would choose to do this, frankly, that's a story for another day. A theory for another day, perhaps. So thank you for watching, and in other news, follow the official Just Jason Twitter account. That's right, I have a Twitter, and that's right, I get political. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.